Hello class. Today we'll be going over some basic cloud computing concepts, comparing cloud versus on-premises, and going over some of the considerations to have in mind. Cloud computing is used to reduce capital expenses. By using cloud resources, organizations don't have to buy or maintain their own. Cloud computing helps create a more reliable system through service license agreements. With rapid elasticity, cloud computing users can easily scale up when necessary. By storing data in the cloud, users create redundancy within their network that can help keep their data intact. The idea of cloud computing began in the 1950s. As new technologies came about, its evolution progressed greatly. Beginning with distributed systems, users were allowed to share resources within a close area. Mainframe computing then increased the processing capabilities of these systems so they can handle larger amounts of data. With the invention of cluster computing, this sharing of data became much less expensive than it was in the past. And once grid computing was introduced, users were able to share data across a much larger geographical area via the internet. Virtualization changed the way we think of cloud computing. It created a virtual layer over hardware that allows users to run multiple instances at once. Web 2.0 then gave clients an interface to interact with the cloud computing services available to them. As cloud computing grew, providers began to focus on providing different service models. These include quality of service, service license agreements, and software as a service. By choosing these models, users are able to pay for services on a pay-per-use basis. There are several different trade-offs to consider before you decide to use cloud or on-premises. Cloud services are extremely scalable with flexible payment options. With service license agreements, they guarantee uptime. However, you do not own the hardware, so you cannot have complete control. The migration to cloud can be quite complex, and the use of cloud services may require the help of a specialist. On-premises infrastructure gives you greater control as you own it 100%. While the upfront cost is great, it can save you money in the long term. With the infrastructure being in your complete control, you can make it as secure as you'd like it to be. However, with you owning it all, you will also be responsible for maintaining it. If your infrastructure needs to be upgraded, it will be very costly to scale upwards with on-premises. Cloud hosting allows users to access applications and websites via the internet. It's a great choice for users that are expecting changes in their needs and want a flexible infrastructure. It's appealing to many because its pay-as-you-go structure only charges you for what you use. Cloud hosting supports both SQL and NoSQL databases. Cloud hosting also provides a variety of solutions for APIs, web portals, and mobile apps. There are several management techniques when it comes to the cloud. It's important to have a strategy in place before you begin migration. The different cloud providers have tools that can help you in your planning. Many organizations are also establishing a cloud center of excellence where members of the organization can communicate to discuss best practices, architectural standards, and more. It's important to align your business context to data. This involves taking a hard look at your total cloud resource consumption to see if it's within budget. If it isn't, then you can begin optimizing resource cost and utilization. This might involve canceling services that you don't use or finding discounts offered by cloud service providers. Companies can centralize cloud governance by creating policies that help manage their cloud infrastructure. Lastly, it should be the goal of your organization to completely integrate cloud into your business key performance indicators. Security is one of the key aspects to take into consideration when it comes to cloud software deployment. Putting certain data into the cloud may be against compliance or put it at a risk you're unwilling to accept. Performance is another factor to consider. In order to check performance, you can launch a pilot in the cloud. Before migrating to the cloud, you must also consider integration. Not all applications can be fully virtualized, so it's good to know ahead of time. And lastly, you'll want to consider any legal implications of migrating to the cloud. Depending on the type of data you handle, you'll want to make sure your cloud service provider is secure and maintaining the type of compliance you need. Hopefully after today's presentation, you are now aware of some of the things to consider before migrating to the cloud. We've gone over both the pros and the cons of doing so, as well as the basic concepts surrounding cloud computing. Now you can make an educated decision on whether it's the right choice for your organization. For further information on cloud computing, you can check out the resources on this slide. Thanks for watching and have a great day.